Hello and good morning. This is autumn. So we have just entered autumn on the 22nd. And I've got a t-shirt on. I'm a bit chilly at the moment. I will warm up. Where did that dog go? Oh, he's over there. Yeah, I will warm up because I always get hot when I'm walking. But I'm wearing a t-shirt just to say sod it, you know? Probably the last time for this year that I wear a t-shirt, so I thought, why not? Come on, my love. Come on. Yeah, autumn. Let's see what this time brings. It is my favourite time of the year, as we all know. I love it. I love the... Mostly it's the change of leaves, that's what I love. But I also love the quietness in the air. Autumn brings a quietness. I don't know why or how, but it does. So many people are a bit concerned because just entering autumn, of course the electric's going to go sky high, as we know. So the heating will cost us, one of my neighbours or one of my friends, I can't remember who, said it's going to cost us just over double. Don't know whether that's right or not, but we'll see. And of course the government, in their wisdom, have decided they need to save some money, so rather than deporting people that washed up on this shore and have a free hotel, heated hotel, rather than deporting them, they'd rather just take the money, a little bit of money off of the old age pensioners, because it's easier. So rather than stopping the ridiculous HC2, what a waste of money, they've decided to attack pensioners rather than stopping the funding of wars. Look at Ukraine, we've sent billions. Rather than stopping that, they've decided to make old ladies go cold, because that's their easiest option. It's disgusting. And also we're still sending aid, to places like India, who sent a rocket up into space. Billions and billions of pounds. They're very, very rich, and we're sending them money. No, it's easier to attack old people. So people are concerned about the heating, and rightly so. Well, look at it. I'm a product of the 70s. I've been cold in my life. When I was a child, I was cold on and off when I was travelling, and really I've decided never to go cold again. So regardless of what it's going to cost, I will be warm. But because I'm a child of my 70s, I think it's a good idea, if you're this age, to look back, to think back. And the benefits of a hot water bottle. You boil the kettle once and it keeps you warm for many, many hours. Come on, bud. You don't have to just have it in bed. If you're, sat on the sofa for a few hours, or if you're surfing the web, or you're sat chatting with a friend who's popped round or whatever, you can have a hot water bottle in the middle of your back, or between your knees, on your lap, in your hands. Hot water bottle, wonderful. And you just boil in the kettle once. And another way of boiling the kettle and saving money just the once is to buy a flask and make a flask of Slurpee. Get your words out, Bri. Rather than a cup of Slurpee in the morning. That way, a flask is normally about 4 cups, so you won't need to boil the kettle again for a little while. Nice to see these little red berries for the birds to get them through winter. Yeah, so you can have a flask of, either a flask of hot water and make your Slurpee fresh, or you can make your Slurpee into a flask, and that'll last you the best part of the day, and that's boiling the kettle once. So you boil the kettle once for a hot water bottle, and once for a number of Slurpees, rather than, if you don't boil the kettle 4 or 5 times, and you boil it the once, that's a saving. Not much of a saving, but you're looking at a little bit of saving in the day, and then you look at that over the week, then you look at that from now until next March, that's a big saving. Probably going to save hundreds of pounds perhaps by just doing a few little things. Now of course we're not in the 70s, so we have technology, and we have things like USB hand warmers, USB, I suppose they're called a throw, a sheet, a blanket. Come on, Bode, this way please. Good boy. The most beneficial thing for me is an electric blanket. It really is, I love it, absolutely love it. I buy an electric blanket, you could say this is wasteful, but I buy an electric blanket every 2 years, because I think they do wear out, and I think by using a brand new electric blanket you get the optimal whatever, you know, they run at the most efficient because they're new. So if your electric blanket's 3 or 4 or 5 years old, it's probably not running very efficiently. Come on, little Bobo, now, come on. I come down here because I thought them people might bugger off. Can you see them behind me? But they're following me down here in their coats. Come on then, bird, let's go. But yeah, so I buy an electric blanket every other year, and it's lovely. How wonderful to go to bed and be warm. It really is good, and especially when you've got a few ailments. I've got the last couple of months I've had a pain in my left hip, the back of my left hip, and whether that's the hip is slowly wearing out, whether that's osteoarthritis, which I think it is, or what it may be, I've no idea. But I do a thing every morning called Qigong, which is a Chinese or Japanese form of exercise. It's stretching, it's movement, it's putting your body through just a gentle, I don't know, a gentle wake up, we could call it. I do that every single morning now. I always used to do it most mornings, now I do it every morning, and it's not out of pleasure, it's out of necessity now. I feel that I need to do it, and if I don't, you know, it can impact on my day. But doing that warms you up as well, you know. If you do some form of yoga, of course everybody's coming down here. I've got 4 people following me now. Shall I? I can go that way round, up and down and round. Yeah, I will. Bode, we're going to go this way. And if they follow me here, we'll kick the living shit out of them. Yeah, so if you're capable to warm the body up, you could do whatever you can do. A few sit-ups, a few press-ups, some qigong, some yoga, some stretching exercises. If you're not capable and you're sat in a wheelchair, could you lift a tin of beans above your head? Do that 10 times and then rest, then do it another 10 times and rest. Could you raise your legs slightly, just 2 inches, and put them down on your little kick plate or whatever it's called? And could you do that over and over, repeat that for 3 minutes? Whatever you do warms the body up. Now, a great exercise tool is an exercise band. If you Google it or eBay it or whatever, there's different bands for different things, but you know, I got confused and I just ignored all that rubbish. I bought a blue band, so whatever a blue band is. So a blue band is a stretchy rubbery plastic. No, see where they go. Oh, for Christ's sake. They are not coming down here. I'm standing my ground now. Now they're looking at me. They're thinking, shall we go or not? So many different places to go. Oh, good. They're pissed off. Right. So the blue band, you can use it in lots of different ways. It's a rubbery, plasticky, stretchy, very, very stretchy band. And if you put it under your feet, if you're able to stand, you put it under your feet and you can grab it and you can, I don't know, push it up, push it out, push it to the side. If you're not able to stand and you're in a chair or a wheelchair or a sofa or whatever, you could put it either under your knees or under your feet or around the door handle or something like that. And again, you can do exercises. You can pull it in, pull it out, and do it fairly easy. And then hold it in a little bit tighter so it gets harder to do. And it's good for weight loss, it's good for building a little bit of muscle, and it's good for warming you up. And there's so much more you can do with it. You can just sit. If you can't move a lot, you can just sit and just hold it in one hand and the other and just open and shut your hands, move your hands up and down, side to side, in circles, and you'll find that your body temperature goes up and up and up, because exercise will keep you warm. If you are able-bodied, do this. Go for a bimble. It's wonderful. Yeah, I love it. I love to be outside, and if it's a bit chilly, you know, pop a coat on or hat and gloves and scarf and things, and still bimble anyway, and you find that your body temperature naturally rises, so that's a good thing. But if you can't do any of that, then it's important to remain as warm as possible indoors, and that's why I say electric blanket or maybe an electric throw, hot water bottle. I have to recommend Temu, T-E-M-U. If you get yourself on Google and just type in T-E-M-U, don't matter where you live in the world, Temu, and get yourself some furry slippers. They've got some slippers at the moment for men and women. They're 25 quid on Amazon, but they're the exact same make, and they're on Temu for $4.97. Nothing I tells you. Now these things, this bloody thing, I must be so tall. How am I going to get under that with my back? Right. Oh. Got my exercising. Yeah. I think they advertise them as a duvet for the feet, something like that. And it's important to keep the extremities warm, really, the fingers and toes, you know. And perhaps your ears and nose as well. But Temu have a lot of stuff coming up for the winter now. One of the things that I have indoors, and I bought 2 or 3 years ago now, is a thick purple, has to be purple, it's very thick. It's a dressing gown, it's an oversized dressing gown. I bought it double the size of what I am, and it's got this great big hood, and I plonks the hood up over on my head, and it's so warm. In seconds it's warm, it's lovely, and I can wrap the thing around me. Reason why I bought it double, I don't want any air coming into it when it's particularly cold, and I can wrap it round and wrap it halfway round again and tie it up with its little tie belt thing, and it's glorious, it's lovely and warm. But I'm notorious for wearing t-shirts 24/7, 365. So when I wear something like that, my body really notices the difference, and because the arms come all the way down, they come, because it's double the size, they come past my hands. So I sort of do that, and then I can type or read or do whatever I'm doing. And every now and then they fall down over me, cover my hands, keep my hands warm. Or if I'm watching a YouTube video, it's 20 minutes long, I tend to shake them down so that the material goes over my hands. I then grab the material and I shove it in its pockets, because it's got pockets as well. So my hands are lovely and warm, really lovely and warm. So's my head, so's my ears. And that's how I sit for large portions of the day. And when we went back to, nice holly, look. I'm still going this way, Bode. I was just showing this holly, okay? That's it. Good boy. Yeah, because I was born in the 70s, you know, we just had a coal fire in the lounge, that was all. And the rest of the house was bloody freezing. And to be honest, so was the lounge. I think most of the heat went up the chimney. They weren't very efficient back in the day. And I used to say to my mum, oh, it's bloody cold. And she said, go and put a jumper on. You know, so you go and put a jumper on, and didn't make a lot of difference, but whatever, it made some difference, you know. So if you dress appropriately, I think that's important. You know, to think, what is the date? I mean, the temperature will fluctuate, we know that throughout the day, but you wake up in the morning and you think, oh, it's a bit chilly or whatever. Personally, for me, I have the heating on full in the morning for about an hour, and that warms my bungalow up. My bungalow stays relatively warm, but I flick it on and off during the day, hour here, hour there, maybe a couple of hours. Maybe I leave it on all day if it's snowing and icy and cold. If I leave it on all day, then I tend to turn it down a little bit, because it just gets too bloody hot. And I like to flick it on in the evening as well, so I sit there of an evening pleasantly warm, and of course it had heat all day long, so we're fine of an evening. And then electric blanket in the bedroom, in the bed, on the bed, and the other electric blanket I've got is there. It's a dog. So I would recommend getting one of these. They're always a few degrees warmer than me. And he snuggles up to me sometimes at night. If he wants to come in and sleep with me, he will. If he don't, he don't. That's fine. He's got other places to sleep. But quite often he will come in with me, and he puts his back level with me, and he shoves and shoves and shoves until his back is right in close to me belly sort of thing. And I put my arm around him and I hold him normally on his chest, and I can feel that heat coming through, you know. He's a very warm little dog. And it's lovely as well. It's nice to share that I suppose personal time, intimate time, I don't know what you want to call it, close time. It's a lovely thing. I love it. Come here, Bode. Bode, come here, please. Thank you. I just suddenly heard a car. Well, where's that then? There must be a road at the back. Sorry, mate. that car didn't come, did it? But thank you for coming back. Yes, I think we learnt a lot in the 70s, really, like eating hot stews, and because of technology now, you can make yourself a soup, couldn't you? A flask of soup. You can make yourself a flask of Slurpee or tea, or hot Ribena or something, whatever you fancy, or just hot water to go and make it fresh. I've got to pop him on a lead. I'll be back in 1 minute. Yeah, we're back. I'm not sure where I got to, because just had a little bit of a chat with a bloke with a couple of greyhounds, and then a couple came behind him with a big lab, sandy coloured, would it be sandy, fawn, tan coloured lab, very big dog. So we're on about keeping warm, aren't we, over the next sort of few months. I mean, you know what you like and what you don't like. Some people don't mind the cold as much as other people. Some people like to be hot in bed. Some people like the window open and a fan on in bed. So it's all much of a muchness, it tells you. You've got to do whatever is right for you, your own thing. One thing I can tell you is it's important to have the heating on at home. It really is. The fabric of the building, when it gets cold, the brickwork and the cement and all the rest of it, plaster and everything else, it takes an age to warm up. So if you just flick the heating on for half an hour a day, you're doing nothing whatsoever, and the place is bloody freezing cold, and then you've got many hours before you decide to flick it on again for half an hour. That cold seeps into your bones eventually. You know, it is the fabric of the building, gets cold and it's no good. So I would certainly recommend to everybody to have your heating on, even if it is expensive, to have it on very low and just keep it at that ambient heat, you know, if you're really skint. But yeah, it is important. So we've got a change of colours just starting. It's only the first couple of days, but all this will change to the end of the month. It'll be wonderful, hopefully. So get yourself outside and have a look at the autumn leaves in a hat and gloves and coats and whatever you fancy, and then get yourself home. Nice warm Slurpee. Treat yourself to an hour in bed with the electric blanket on. So I made a video a long time ago, years ago, when I was travelling, and I remember what I said in that video, and I said, and I believe this, if you're warm, you're happy, and if you're happy, you're well. And it does have a knock-on effect. You watch anybody in the depths of winter, if somebody knocks at the door and it's lovely and warm in there and they come in, they will smile, right? They go, wow, oh, it's lovely and warm in here. So they smile. It makes them happy. If you're warm, you're happy. And when you're happy, you do feel well. You know, a lot of illnesses and things like that, when you're not happy, so if you're depressed or whatever, they get bigger and bigger, the illnesses, because of your mind state. Come on, my love, this way. So, more red berries. Look at them. You could also put out some water for the birds. They do struggle with water in the winter. They normally find enough food, but they struggle with water when things freeze over. And I've seen people put the water out. Bode? I've seen people put the water out and it freezes and they leave it there for days. And it's no good, and it's worth keeping an eye on that, really. It's worth just putting a little puddle of water, and then maybe in the afternoon do the same. Just a little puddle of water. Got to look after our little birds. Without birds and squirrels and bees, there would be none of us. They reckon something like 500,000 trees or whatever are grown each year because squirrels bury their nuts and forget where they've buried them. That's incredible. But anyway, whatever you're doing this autumn, this winter, try and keep warm. Because if you're warm, you're happy, and if you're happy, you're well. For me, I'm not overly bothered about the cost. Not that I'm rich or anything, but I'm not overly bothered. It is what it is. I know it's expensive. The way I look at it is I haven't had the heating on since about April. I've had it on twice actually, or 3 times. So, although it's expensive, you might as well say it's half of whatever it is, because you only use the heating for maybe half a year, don't you? So it is half of whatever cost. That's what I think. If I've had, say, April, May, June, July, August, September, that's 5 months. If I've had all that time with no heat, and then I've got to have the heating on a lot for the next 4 or 5 or 6 months, it breaks down to be 50% of the time, doesn't it really? 50% of the cost. Cobwebs on the face. Okay, thank you for joining me on this little bimble. I am going to make another video now, so that'll be up soon, and it's going to be talking about... No, it's not. I'm going to make a video to tell you, this is confluting and bloody awkward and confusing and everything else. I'm going to make a video in a minute that's going to tell you that I'm going to make a video at some stage about somebody who is probably my favourite ever artist, or certainly one of them, probably my favourite ever, really, if I'm honest. And it might surprise you, and I'll show you what I've got by this particular person, and yeah, just discuss my favourite ever artist. And of course, when you see that, if you're not interested, you're not interested, you move on, and you might watch another video. That'd be great. Yeah, I think I like to make it because I like to make videos about what I'm interested in, really. But anyway, until such times, look after yourself, look after each other, be warm, be happy, and be well. Ta-da.